Hello, ladies, and welcome back to another empowering episode of the Career Woman's Secret Playbook podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Dawn, and I'm so glad you are here today because this topic is so important. You probably going to want to grab a notebook, a pen, pencil, whatever you can get your hands on, and start taking notes, ladies, because I don't want to see that you are holding yourself back anymore. As of today, you are done. I've supervised a lot of men and women, and it wasn't until I was on the other side of that desk that I realized that my career ladies were really getting in their way a lot more often. They had more self-doubt. They struggled more with confidence. And all throughout today's episode, just like always, I'm going to include other videos that you might want to check out. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. But if you are watching us on YouTube, it'll be a little easier for you to find those videos. I'll include them in the description, and then you can click on it too when it pops up on your screen. But confidence is definitely some videos I can share with you to help. And in today's topic, we're really going to look at easy ways that you can tackle this to make sure that you're not blocking your own success. Because the last thing I want to see for men and women both, but since this podcast is specifically for us gals out there, and the reason I chose to do that, some of you have heard this story before if you've been following us for a while, is that I do see, especially on the management side, career women getting in their own way, struggling with issues, especially work-life balance in greater numbers. And so I want to be a resource to help. Now, if you guys want additional help, you know I would love to work with you. So be sure to go to our website and check out what those options are. We offer professional coaching where you and I would take that journey together. But I also offer a lot of workshops and seminars that your organization might be interested in, whether you're a school, a business, a nonprofit. So be sure to check that out on our website. All right, you guys, let's get to it. Let's get to these ways that you can make sure that you're not, again, interfering with your own success. I mean, my gosh, you guys, the world can be tough enough as it is, right? We don't need to be adding to that problem. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, you might notice I am enjoying an afternoon cup of coffee. And look at what this coffee mug is saying. You've got this. And it's inscribed coffee. Do you believe that coffee can give us that little extra boost of confidence? So if you don't mind me taking one little sip, there you go, guys. I just needed one more little sip just to be able to bring you the energy today you deserve in both the podcast episode and our YouTube version of this.
Are you a strong, independent woman who's passionate about her career? Then this podcast is perfect for you. Based on her book, The Career Woman's Secret Playbook, career coach Dr. Dawn Hamby shares the kind of insider secrets you can only know if you've hired, fired, and promoted employees over the past 30 years.
Ladies, I'm on a mission to help busy women just like you create a career and life you love without sacrificing your work-life balance to get it. Come join me as we inspire and motivate each other only as women can and have lots of fun along the way.
With Dr. Dawn's tools, strategies, and action steps, you can unleash your personal and professional power in a whole new way. Here's today's episode.
All right, you guys, so number one, stop doubting yourself. Number one is self-doubt. That's right. You heard it here. Self-doubt can definitely be a killer. You know, we just have such negative self-talk. So I've got other videos about that. Definitely check that out, you guys. And if you think you're alone in this, you're not. This happens all the time. The most confident people even are going to have those moments where they too are going to doubt their abilities. Usually self-doubt creeps up when it's something brand new. So don't freak out about that. You're not supposed to be an expert the first time you try something, okay? So again, give yourself some grace and just understand that many of us, even the most confident person, is going to deal with self-doubt. If you're watching somebody on YouTube, another content creator, or even Instagram, whatever social media you follow, sometimes it seems like a perfect picture. And you guys, of course, you're going to see the best moments. For example, on my Facebook page, yes, I've got my business page, but on my personal page, I'm going to show you moments that I'm celebrating. Okay, I'm not going to post the most painful moments in my life. I think sometimes people will. And if I ever decide to do like a vlog part of my channel, then yeah, I'll share with you some struggles. And in my episodes and videos, if there's something I think relevant to what I'm talking about, I probably will mention some struggles I've gone through. But in general, I'm not going to post like a picture of me crying or struggling with something. I want my Facebook, my social media in general to be a place to help people, to help inspire them. Now, if you'd like to see some more tears because you're like, Dr. Dawn, you're too bubbly. We want to see when you're having a terrible day. Again, if I decide to do a vlog part of my channel, I think that would be a better fit than posting the videos that I tend to use for clients. I started my YouTube channel to create a library of videos where I could talk a little bit more specifically or take a deeper dive on a particular topic that I know comes up in coaching, that I know comes up when companies need me to speak and conduct a workshop for their, staff. And so only recently have I been trying to grow my channel to be able to reach more people. But again, I usually keep this kind of in-house. So if you do want to see more content like that, then, be sure to comment. That's a way that I can figure out what you might need next. Okay. So be sure to comment whether it's on the podcast or on the YouTube channel. I would love to hear from you. All right, you guys. So again, we're getting rid of self-doubt, aren't we? It's time. It is time to silence that doubting voice that you're hearing. It's time to silence that inner critic and remember that you are amazing. If you don't think you are all that in a bag of chips, there is something wrong, okay? I say that all the time. Now, I don't want you to run around the world and think you're so perfect that you turn into a narcissist. But, there is a balance between the two. You can be amazed by your own company and think you are fabulous without turning into a narcissist, okay? So let's squash that self-doubt. Let's give ourselves as much opportunity for success and confidence as possible because you deserve it. All right, strategy number 2, fear of failure. You guys, this is a biggie. Fear of failure is such a big part of this that I have a whole section about that in the book, you guys. So again, don't feel like you're alone if you're afraid of success. Now, a close twin to this, the flip side to that is fear of success. And I've talked about that in other videos, so I'll be sure to include that here too. But let's start with fear of failure because this one definitely is more common. So in other words, so many of us are afraid we're going to fail our first time at bat, especially when we're doing something new, right? So that fear really can paralyze us. As they say, that paralysis by analysis, that is a real thing. But here's the truth. Did you know that failure is not the opposite of success? Let that sink in. Let me repeat it one more time, guys, because this is important. Failure is not the opposite of success. And here's why. Because it's part of the journey. It's the stepping stones, in other words, to get you there. I've mentioned this before in other videos that the most successful people in the world, those millionaires and billionaires that started with $20 in their pocket, and next thing you know, they've built a $20 million empire, right? I'm talking about those kinds of people. Now, we can define success in lots of different ways. I'm just using the monetary version of success. When somebody starts something small, they think they can't achieve it, and then next thing you know, they're not only living out their dream, but their company is so successful. Those people will tell you that their failures taught them more about their business than their successes ever did. So don't be afraid of making a mistake. You're going to learn that lesson, make that mess your message, and you're going to be on your way. All right, you guys, coming in at number 3 is lack of boundary setting. Oh, this is another big one. Women in greater numbers have a harder time saying no. They have a harder time setting healthy boundaries. I definitely talk a lot about this again on my channel and on the podcast. So you guys, the reason I do is it's so important. I've seen firsthand where some coworkers of mine and even employees of mine really spread themselves so thin, did not stand up for themselves, did not explain why they were feeling the way that they did, didn't explain how long maybe a task really took, didn't take the time to educate folks and ask for guidance. And let me tell you what, it's human nature to take advantage. My worldview is that people are in general really good and they want to do their best. I think We all start out that way. That is my worldview and my perspective, that we do. We start off that way. Now, I also believe there's those rare times where somebody really is truly evil. I think as a former history teacher, I can't ignore that. There are examples of true evil out there. But I think in general, we all start that journey in life wanting the best and trying to be the best. And then somehow along the way, things change. It's not that people just take advantage because they're just terrible people. It's because it's human nature that if you're getting a great result, you're just going to keep going with that approach. So if you don't set those healthy boundaries, yes, ladies, you are going to be spread so thin, you're going to be miserable at work, and it's definitely going to spill over into your personal life. So we don't need to do that anymore. Decide today that you're going to set healthy boundaries in your personal and professional life. Start that today, because you can't wait any longer to start really taking care of yourself. And that's what healthy boundaries ultimately is truly that self-care. Self-care is self-love. And remember, it's never selfish. All right, you guys, as we wrap up today's video, let me recap these 3 easy ways that you can make sure you are not blocking your success, because the last thing I want is for you to be interfering with your success. I mean, my goodness, life is tough enough as it is sometimes, right? Especially when you're wanting to do a great job at your career. So let's recap the 3 easy ways that you might be holding yourself back. Remember, we're getting rid of that as of today. And be sure to comment both on the podcast and on our YouTube channel. Let me know which of these 3 strategies really worked for you. I absolutely love hearing from you guys and making sure that I can continue to bring you some tips and tricks that can really help. So remember, you guys, number 1, we're going to get rid of that self-doubt. That inner critic needs to be silenced. It is not serving you. When I work with clients and I talk about achieving their goals, the last thing we're going to do is to have a lot of negative self-talk. We're going to change that around, and you can too. All right, you guys, remember our second strategy was fear of failure. That was the second way that we might be holding ourselves back. Remember that a close twin to that is fear of success. And if you want me to do another video about that, I can definitely do that. But fear of failure is what keeps us from taking those risks, from taking those chances, from really moving forward. So you definitely don't want to get stuck in that place. And last but not least, don't forget, coming in at number 3 is that lack of boundary setting. I see this happen all the time. It just breaks my heart, especially when it's someone who's close to me, a close friend or family member, where I just see that they're not setting those healthy boundaries in their professional life or their personal life. And what ends up happening? They are absolutely exhausted, and I don't want that to happen to you. It is the fastest way to burn out. Again, both professionally and personally, if you're not taking care of yourself. And if you don't set those healthy boundaries, both at the office and at home, you know what? There's just no way, no matter how much willpower that you have, that you're going to feel energized. I want you to feel passionate about the life that you have. I want you to remember that purpose is so important. In fact, you guys, I'm listening to a wonderful book on tape right now. They're not sponsoring this video. It's called Age Proof. My dad recommended this to me. He is 81 years old, just turned 81, and he is working so hard to try to make sure he is living his best life. A lot of you know we recently lost my mom, and so her passing away recently is just a reminder to us all how precious time is and how important it is to learn the life lesson she left behind, which was to really take care of yourself. And there were ways that she did and ways that she didn't. And that's a great lesson to her children, to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves so that we can do the best job possible at preventing illness. And not that it prevents all illnesses by any means, but we do have a lot of control over our health. And so, Mom, if you're watching, if you're listening, because I believe she's my guardian angel forever and ever, and I know she would want me to set those healthy boundaries and to take care of myself and to never forget that self-care is definitely self-love. So you guys, I really hope that these tips helped you out. These are 3 of many I could cover. If you want some more about this very topic, be sure to comment below. And don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, of course, we would love for you to do that too. And also don't forget, I would love to work with you. If you think that you are in the market for some one-on-one coaching, or that your organization needs a little bit of what Dr. Dawn is sharing on her YouTube channel, be sure to reach out to us. Don't forget, I've got all those other videos that could help in the description, so check those out. And as I wrap up, one last thing that we always share right here on the podcast is our motto. Our motto is all about realizing how much power you have to make your day a great one. So let's wrap up with that right now. If you're not having a fantastic day, you've got the power to make it one. All right, you guys, take care. I hope to see you again in our next video. We do try to drop our videos on Mondays to help you have a wonderful start to your week. Again, have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone. I know our episode is over, but this is just the beginning. If you're ready to take action but don't know where to start, just head over to drdawnshoptalk.com for lots of free resources, ways to work together, and for even more. Subscribe to the Dr. Dawn Shop Talk YouTube channel. Remember, ladies, you don't have to take this journey alone. I've got you covered. Till next time.